Have you ever been dog sledding? Oh my gosh, what a rush. Picture yourself sitting in the basket with a group of excited dogs in front of you, eager to burn off their excess energy. Or you're standing on the runners with the musher, leaning into those tight turns when he calls out commands to his trusted canines. The crisp wind blows through your face as you bank right, and then suddenly you're banking left. Some turns are so tight they lift the ski off the ground as you and the musher find yourself leaning with all your might and weight in the opposite direction, fighting to keep the sled on the ground. Inertia's a bitch out here. Suddenly, you find yourself in the vast wilderness of the Quebec outback. It's surreal, it's pristine, it's magical, it's peaceful, until you realize you're sledding across a frozen lake. The path back can get really narrow as you head down some damn steep hills, ducking under branches and narrowly dodging tree trunks. In this wilderness wonderland, Kanatha-Aki is far more than just a place to go dog sledding.
Because when you go to the sleigh, you can take the pictures and move it. And when you're driving the sleigh, you have action, you know?
Yeah. It's a place to connect with nature. Immerse yourself in Indigenous culture and experience the thrill of wilderness survival. From dog sledding and bison encounters to ice fishing and wilderness survival courses, you'll find an adventure that speaks to your soul. Hey, welcome to Highway Highlights, a podcast that tells inspirational stories, uncovers hidden gems, and unlocks destination secrets. My name is Christopher Rudder, a road trip, day trip, and all-around travel expert and content creator in the travel and tourism space. In this episode, we're going to talk about the history of dog sledding and its indigenous roots. What goes into training and feeding these dogs, and other amazing things to experience here at Kanatha-Aki.
The story, I'm from France. And at 33 years old, I want to change my life. I'm a businessman in France. I have 5 business, and I say, it's not my real life. I prefer change my life. I happy because I learned to work, and so now it's time for learn to live.
That's the founder of Kanatha-Aki, Stefan Denis. A former businessman from France, Stefan left his city life behind in search of a more fulfilling existence. He found it in the heart of the Laurentian Mountains, where he fell in love with the nature, the animals, and the sense of community.
And I say, let's go. And I go to Canada in the forest. And after 3 years old, after 3 years here in the forest, I say, "Whoa, it's a paradise." For me, it's very changed my life, and the life with the animal, and my heart is wonderful place. I say I must share with people that because it's a paradise for me.
Driven by passion for sharing this magical place with others, Stefan founded Kanatha-Aki, an indigenous term that reflects the destination's profound connection to nature and cultural heritage.
And I make my house, I cut my trees, I go to the forest, and I make my cabin, and the forest cabin. And today I open for the people like the animal and the nature. And it's my job to share my passion of the people like you.
Awesome. The word Kanatha-Aki roughly translates to guardians of the boundless earth. Now, when we think of the word guardian, it really speaks to the commitment to protect and preserve our natural environment. The stunning landscapes where indigenous cultures thrive are a big part of that. The phrase boundless earth perfectly captures the breathtaking nature of the Laurentian wilderness. But you know, Kanatha-Aki is more than just a destination to have fun and dive into outdoor activities. It's a place where you can connect deeply with the land, learn from Indigenous traditions, and really appreciate the incredible relationship between humans and nature. In fact, Kanatha-Aki is a proud partner of Leave No Trace Canada, which means it's committed to minimizing its environmental impact and promoting responsible outdoor recreation. Things like minimizing waste, respecting wildlife, staying on the trails, leaving what you find, and being considerate of others. Dog sledding has always been crucial to Indigenous cultures for ages, especially for getting around and hunting in snowy areas. In the Laurentian Mountains, it likely played a similar role for the local Indigenous communities. With tough winters and rough terrain, dog sleds became essential for survival. They helped people travel, trade, and stay connected with others during those cold months. Like Kanatha-Aki today, these communities had a strong bond with their environment and the dogs they worked with. Our musher, Brandon, knew his dogs inside out. My man can tell you about each dog's personality traits and how they were the same or different from their siblings, parents, grandparents, and so on. As the Laurentians began to change and modernize, dog sledding shifted from a practical means of transportation to something people could participate in as a fun way to experience the beautiful wilderness. That said, and more importantly, dog sledding reminds us of the rich history and culture of the Indigenous peoples who first lived here. As Brandon got his dogs on the line, I noticed that they were in kennels or in fenced-in areas, yet they looked incredibly healthy. We'll speak to Stefan about training and nutrition in a second, but knowing how some animal activists are, I asked him about the kennels and the fenced-in areas. Here's what he told me. Brandon explained that the dogs are kept as close to the wild as possible, and they're not neutered. Therefore, allowing them to walk loose would be irresponsible, as they would likely fight with and impregnate other dogs, resulting in injuries and overpopulation. In fact, keeping dogs in a condo while their owner is at work all day without giving them space to run around could be considered animal cruelty, if you think about it. And now I really can't help but think about the dogs I see in strollers here in Toronto. Ooh. Brandon also added that taking care of his dogs is a 24-hour job. If his dog gets sick at 1 a.m, he is out there all night nursing it back to good health.
Yeah. And the guys, is very important that the guys have the same team because you have the connection with the dogs.
Right.
It's important to have the connection. It's no guys, I don't know who is the dog. No.
Yeah.
It's connect. You have a passion when he go for take the dog in the morning. He's my friend, go with me, walking every holiday. I go for you for give the happiness.
Yeah.
It's very important the dogs have the pleasure.
Yeah.
Because if the dogs have a pleasure, the people have a pleasure.
So not only does the guide need to have a strong bond with the dogs, the guide needs to know each dog's personality. You see, the well-being of each dog is essential for the well-being of the whole pack, including the guide. Training and nutrition is a big part of that.
The dogs is very important to have the special relation in the training of the all the years. Mm-hmm. But for the summer, the dogs is free. You can go swimming, and when the temperature is good for training, and normally it's November because it's very cold, and you can we do the training for the little kilometer, and after more, and when it's snowing, when we change the moto because we're training with moto, and we change for the sleigh.
So, during the off season, they use a dog scooter, sort of like a dog sled but with wheels, to keep them in shape during the cooler months when there's no snow.
After 1 month, is ready for go with people and we go to the trail. But a little kilometer, we finish with 20 kilometers per day.
Nice, nice. And what do the dogs eat?
The dogs eat the special food because is a athletic dogs.
Uh-huh.
Is for the good job you must the good food.
Right.
And we give the special beef.
Nice.
And the chicken too, the meat with mix because the chicken is good for the fat.
Right. Okay.
Want to give the fat for dogs is a chicken, and you have the beef. The beef is a protein for the muscle.
Nice.
And we give the oil for the fish for the articulation.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. Plus the special for the intestine, you know, we mix with that and we give the soup after working out 1 hour after.
Wow.
And a day we give the soup, little soup with just water and mix with little meat.
Nice.
For hydration. The morning, on the day, and after working is a soup.
It looks like these dogs are eating far better than me. I can tell you that. High quality meat with a good balance of protein and fat, adding fish oil for joint health and importance of hydration, especially after work.
It is very important. Is my priority for me. My animal is very good life.
Awesome.
My philosophy is the First Nation, and the animal is like a sister brother.
Yes.
He teach me every day.
Yeah.
I tell of the people every time. I want to have the power of the spirit of my dogs, the love, because it's unconditional love. The dogs.
Now, speaking of work, while on the trail during moments of rest, especially after the dogs pulled us up a hill, me being such a big guy, Brandon was telling us about the lead dogs and what characteristics go into choosing them. It went like this: intelligence and quick learning, understands a response to commands and knows the trails. Number 2, confidence and independence, making decisions and not easily spooked. Number 3, strong work ethic, sets the pace, loves running. Number 4, good communication, understands the musher and the team. And number 5, leadership qualities, assertive and motivates others. Now, if I'm being honest, that does sound a lot like myself. Well, minus the running part, of course.
3, 2, 1. Yep.
Okay. Aside from the dog sledding, I wanted to mention some of the other rather extensive lists of amazing activities you can enjoy here at Kanatha-Aki. Whether you're an adventure seeker or just looking for a unique getaway, there's something for everyone. Check this out. First off, they have these incredible wilderness survival courses available all year round. You can join in on a 1, 2, or even 3-day course to learn how to live off the land. It's a fantastic way to connect with nature and gain some valuable skills. You know, like zombie apocalypse, for example. If fishing is more your vibe, they've got you covered with all sorts of options. You can try fly fishing, line fishing, hand fishing, or even ice fishing when it's chilly outside. Plus, you could rent an entire lake for the day. That is cool. Another highlight is the Bison Reserve tours. Now, if you've listened to or watched my Wanaskewin episode, then you already know how connected Indigenous peoples are to the bison, its importance for the ecosystem, and its status as a keystone species. It's a great opportunity to see these amazing animals up close and learn about their history. There is something truly special about experiencing wildlife in their natural habitat. Now, if you're visiting in the winter and you like the dog sledding, they offer trips of varying lengths, from about an hour to about 6 hours, and you can even pair it with a bison reserve visit or some ice fishing. For those looking to immerse themselves in a traditional winter lifestyle, they have these trapper packages that let you experience it firsthand. And if you're part of a school group, you can participate in multi-activity days in the winter, which are perfect for keeping those kids engaged and active. Now, when summer rolls around, you can go horseback riding at Pilliper Ranch and choose between a 1 or 2 hour trip. There's also this fantastic summer activity called Canny Rando, which is sort of like a fun way to hike with the dogs. And if you're feeling extra adventurous, don't miss out on their ziplining course, where you can soar through the treetops on an 18 zipline course. And for those who love heights, tree climbing is also on the itinerary. I've done that before. Tons of fun. You need lots of great upper body strength. Lastly, you can extend your stay with an overnight option, such as spending the night in a traditional teepee or a cozy log cabin. It's a great way to really soak up the experience. Plus, make sure to stop by the kennel to meet the friendly dogs. They're such a big part of the adventure.
So what do you hope that everybody takes away from here when they go home?
Excuse me?
What do you hope that everybody, when they come visit here and they leave, what do you hope they take away with them?
When a people is coming, he just have open the eyes, open the ear, for see what is nature. We go to the forest and the very wild place, and the trust of the animal, the beaver place. You go to the river, the lake, the different the paysage. You see go to the trees of the maple syrup,
Nice.
and the pine. Is different view, you know.
Nice.
And people is coming is deconnection
With nature.
with the city, deconnection with the stress of life. You coming just to listen the dogs walking in the snow, and it's a very silence nature, you know.
So, whether you're looking for a thrilling experience or just want to relax in nature, Kanatha-Aki is definitely worth checking out. Trust me, you'll find an adventure for every season. Whether you're yearning for an adrenaline rush on a dog sled, a peaceful moment fishing by a secluded lake, or a glimpse into past traditions, Kanatha-Aki offers an experience that will stay with you long after you've left the Laurentian wilderness. Until next time, keep exploring. Cheers.